Okay, welcome back to the MBE Entrepreneur Interview Series. We're joined today by Matt Barrie from Freelancer.com. Now, Freelancer has become the world's largest outsourcing platform, connecting over 2.5 million people worldwide. More recently, Matt has been named the inaugural BRW Entrepreneur of the Year, with turnover in 2010 reaching $23.5 million US. Now, another exciting thing which happened recently was Matt and Freelancer.com took out a couple of awards at the Webby Awards, I understand. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, thanks for having me. So yes,
thanks for being with us.
We're pretty excited actually. We just won the best employment site at the Webbies, beating Monster.com, who's the global juggernaut in employment.
Great.
And also the People's Choice. So over the moon and heading over in June to New York to collect the trophy.
You've got a full table there, I believe.
We do, yeah.
Now, Matt, can you give us a little bit of an overview of what Freelancer is today and some of the milestones that have been achieved along the way?
Sure. So we are the world's largest outsourcing marketplace. So it's a lot like eBay, but instead of buying and selling goods, it's for outsourcing jobs online. Typically things like build me a website, get traffic to my website, design for me a logo, but right through to things as obscure as mechanical engineering, find me a product in China, financial research, accounting, tax, you name it. There's over 400 different types of categories and growing that you can now outsource online. Fundamentally what's happening is the global labour market is disrupting. So there are 6.8 billion people in the world, 2 billion people are on the internet, but 5 billion people are not. They're connecting right now at double-digit and triple-digit rates. They're poor, they're hungry, they're driven, they're self-skilling, they're self-motivated, and the first thing they want when they go online is they want a job, because their average wage at the moment is somewhere around $10 a day or less. So what we do is we effectively connect the West, small businesses and individuals in the West, with emerging economies, for service providers and so forth. And fundamentally what is happening is we think we're enabling a whole new class of entrepreneurs in the West who are small business owners who always have these crazy ideas and want to get things done. Like, wouldn't it be great if I could build a website, or had an iPhone application for this, or I could find a product that did this I could sell in my store? And enabling entrepreneurs in emerging economies to start service provider-based organizations. So, we've got a guy, for example, in India who makes about $1 million a year building $65 websites. He started from scratch and now has 80 people working in 3 design facilities. So that's what it's all about. It's typically jobs around $200 or less. And for people who are in the United States or United Kingdom or Australia, typically you'd pay as low as 10% of what you would pay locally to get something done. So if someone locally is going to quote you $10,000 to build a website, you can probably get it done for about $1,000 on our site. So.
Now, Matt, what you're talking about is such a global trend. How long ago did you kick it off?
What I did was I came in 2 years ago and I rolled up part of the space. So I bought somewhere around 10 sites. Starting with a site that had been running since 2004, which was called Get a Freelancer. This was a Swedish company that was run by a guy who lived in a fish farm in Vanuatu, had about 500,000 users on it. It's a very interesting story, had no employees. And I used it as a platform to acquire a number of other sites. I bought LimeWire out of New York. I bought a marketplace in the United Kingdom, Hong Kong, Australia, Germany, and so forth, and rolled it all up, rebranded it as Freelancer.com. And put resources behind it, engineering, marketing, PR, and so forth, and built it up to where it is today. And it's grown absolutely phenomenally. 2 years ago, we were about the 5,000th biggest website in the world. We're now in the top 250. We've gone from 500,000 users to 2.5 million users, and we've just completed 1 million projects. And we've got people from just about every country in the world on the site, including the Vatican and Antarctica. So it's all,
there you go.
It's crazy.
Amazing growth.
Yep.
Now, we'll get to the roll-up in a second.
Yep.
But before that, let's talk about... only started a couple of years ago. How did you identify such a growing sector and a global market?
It was somewhat by accident. So what happened was I was running a semiconductor company for 6 years, and after walking out of that company and taking a year off, I was looking to get some work done just on a side project, get some data entry done. I was trying to source locally from a little brother or a friend of mine to type a bunch of things into a spreadsheet, and it was extremely painful. Because he'd want to work for 1 hour here, then 3 hours here, then he had exams and had other stuff going on. So I expected to pay about $2,000 to get this done, and in frustration I went to the internet, and I'd known about outsourcing for a long time online, but I was skeptical because I had never tried it before. I posted a job and I walked away, and I came back and there was 74 unread messages in my inbox. I thought, geez, what's going on here? And I'll do it for $500, I'll do it for $300, $200. And I hired a team of people in Vietnam for about $100 to do the job I thought was going to cost about $2,000. They did the job in 3 days, it was perfect. And I thought, oh my God, something is going on here, it's game changing. So I did a bit of investigation into what was going on and realized that most of the world is not actually on the internet, and they're connecting now. And if you're in the Philippines and you're out there, you've got a university degree and you go into the main industry, for example, which is call centers. I mean, your starting salary is somewhere around $220, $240 a month, and this is the same sort of across the emerging world right now. The internet's coming, and you can earn your monthly wage in a few hours or a few days. Yep. So I thought this is absolutely going to transform society. So I looked at actually building a site in this space, and figured out that there was a number of incumbents, one that had raised $100 million and had 10 years head start, one that had raised $60 million, had a 6-year head start, and thought, well, I better see if I can buy rather than build, because it's going to take too long. So I went out there and started buying up sites and put them all together, and that's Freelancer.
Here we are. Yep. Now, those two incumbents that you mentioned, yep, they both had large budgets, as you said, up to $100 million. Yep. How did you compete?
Well, I mean, I don't know what they did with $100 million. I mean, it's a website, right? So $100 million in 10 years, I would have restarted the space program. I say that all the time. But well, we just tried to go scrappier, and we're a very capital efficient business. We've got a model, I think, which is designed for growth. It's free for freelancers to sign up. It's free for them to start bidding, and as they start making money, we start charging them. So we've grown like absolute wildfire across emerging economies. In Bangladesh, we're the 21st biggest website, so we're bigger than Microsoft, Bing, LinkedIn, Amazon.com, PayPal, Apple, so forth. We just overtook Amazon in Pakistan. So when people discover that they've got the ability to earn their month's wage in a very, very short period of time, this word of mouth just spreads like crazy, and the ability to transform lives, and if you raise the level of income up to a certain standard, it just completely transforms what people can do, and the sort of businesses they can build, and the opportunities that are open to them. So that's been fantastic for us in sort of getting the user growth going crazy.
Great. Now, there's a recent book by the 37 Signal guys called Rework, which I'm sure you've probably read.
I'm aware of it. I haven't read it.
We'll edit that bit out later. They talk about scratching your own itch in terms of, rather than trying to foresee a problem in the market, find out, try and identify what are the issues you're having right now, yep, and fix that, yep, with a startup. Is that, did you believe that that's the right path to be taking?
Well, I am. I'm very much a believer in you've got to eat your own dog food, right? Okay. So, I mean, at Freelancer, we all have, we all outsource all the time as much stuff as we can. Yeah. And as part of doing that, you get to see how the site works, you get to improve and optimize processes and flow and so forth. And absolutely, if you're not a customer of your own product, then why are you actually in business in the first place?